Well, hello. Whiskey folk, whiskey time. Live stream again. Live tasting. Got some victims in the green room waiting to join us. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay and there's no sound issues. Yes, another live tasting, guys. Sunday night special. Got a nice wee lineup tonight. Going to dive in, rattle through them, have a bit of, as the wives always say, how much shit we chat, so we might be chatting a wee bit of shit as we go along through the way. If you're happy to hang around, that'd be great. Great having you all with us. Just wondering where this chat's gone. Let's have a look. Okay, struggling there. Looks like we've got a few in. Yeah, looks like Ebhead's joined in. How you doing, Rolf? Nice to see you, buddy. Been a wee while, my friend. Sure, we'll catch up again later in the year at some point. Glasgow, probably. There's Frank as well. Peated. Nice to see you, buddy. I don't know if there's much in this lineup your way, Frank, but hopefully you can sit in and join some of the chat and get chatting to some of your regulars in their way. Yeah, no little lineup, guys. Gonna whiz through these. And if you're them popping in, they're all saying along. Egghead, yeah, long time. God, Gav's Drams in. How you doing, Gav? How's the weather up in Edinburgh? Have you tackled any of them Boona Habbins yet? A couple of nice ones there, Gav. They enjoy them, buddy. Yeah, I think I've lost. Yeah, it looks like we're coming in. Yeah, I had a wee chat issue there, but it seems to be fine now. So yeah, guys, it's been a while. This second live stream now. I'm planning to maybe do one a month. Sunday night seems to be the preferred night, I think. I know some of you might have work on Mondays and can't hang around, but I don't plan to do them too long. Don't plan to keep them too long. I'm thinking, planning maybe if I can get out in a couple of hours, and I'd be happy with that. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to bring in the victims, the guys who have kind of dived up and decided to join me, share some whiskey with me. So let's get them in, and who will I bring in? Let's bring in them in the order I've got. How you doing, Dave?
All good. All good.
Here
Nice to see you.
comes Neil, and last but not least, we've got Paul. How you doing, fellas? You all right?
All good.
Oh, goody. So hopefully there's a few piling in at the minute. Early days, I think Castren's popped in, so there's a few of them. Few old familiar faces. If you're into the kind of YouTube lives, I think there's a few old regular characters here. But yeah, well, it's nice to chat to you, Ebhead, again. It's been a while. I think Glasgow was the last time we met, Rolf, I think, wasn't it? Glasgow. Yeah, whiskey tasting. I think they're a decent wee lineup. I think there's enough going on. I think the order we're going to tackle them, guys, is the order I've got them here. So we've got the GlenAllachie 13 Madeira wood, 48%. We've got the old Perth Manzanilla, 53.4. And then we've got Chorlton Whisky. This has got a lot to live up to because this is one I've tasted before. So GlenAllachie, Chorlton Whisky, 57.9. First fill Oloroso. Campbeltown, Icons of Campbeltown, 14, lightly peated, medium peat, and red wine Barolo cask. And they've got a James Eadie on the end here, Kalina, again, Palo Casado. So yeah, so let me get the coins off these. We'll dive into the Madeira first. So if he's been having a wee sniff while I've been chatting shit, boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this is definitely sweet and spicy. This one has been it's part of the wood finish series, 48%, as I've been reminded. So 11.5 years in American oak and 6 months finishing in Madeira casks. So I get this sweet and vanilla. But that honey, that GlenAllachie character and the honey notes there as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got sweet light fruits I've put down.
Yeah, honey.
Love Arts, the old little tablets you used to have when you were about 6. I got a little bit of sherbet. You still have them, don't you, Alan?
I've got stocks of them, mate. I just collect everything, man. Collect everything. The yeah, a wee bit nutty as well. There's definitely a wee the confectionery, fizzy, sweety things definitely there. A wee bit dusty. But I don't know if you've seen it, but it's when I first got this, it was the orangest thing I've ever seen. It is orange whiskey. I thought it'd been tangled. It's that orange. But yeah, very, very nice. I've done a few of these wood ones. I think they've changed some of them now to the sherry season. I think there's a sherry finishes now. Oh, look at that name there. Look at that. There's my old mate. I've not seen him for a while, man. Look, the old Draminator. That's a name, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's changed a wee bit since I seen you last time. We got he's one now. This Amontillado. Springbank Amontillado. Else we got. Got Machi Chuzu. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, I think that's Gav. Yeah, it's nice to see old Gavin, man. He's been following Gav, guys. He's followed Gav's drams.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must do now, man. What is he saying there? We'll be back, changing computers. Gary, how you doing, Gary? So are you finding this one, Dave? What are you getting from this, mate? You concurring or are you finding anything else?
That Madeira cask is a clean cask. It's that's a clean Madeira. You can get the Madeira from that nose. And again, very sweet.
I see the Madeira. I see the Madeira when I look at it. I've never seen it. It's the orangest thing I've ever seen, and it's the only seem to see it in Madeira.
Yeah.
I'm getting some almonds maybe from it. Tropical fruits.
Yeah, you're right. There is a bit of tropical, and it's a bit nutty. Bang on with that there, Paul.
Paul, I was scared you were going to say you're getting custard and what is it, Marmite? Not Marmite.
Oxo cubes.
Oxo cubes.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get there.
You'll get there.
Did you see the glass, Alan?
Oh yes.
We're representing tonight.
Oh, nice. Nice. Where do you nick that from?
I don't know. You nicked money from my wallet and you sent it to me.
Do you know what your missus said last time you were talking shit on night? I think that Oxo cube thing might have been what she was talking about.
It's just, to be fair, that's just standard chat from her. I'm just always talking shit, apparently. So
it's a wee bit more spicy on the palate. It's kind of dry. You might get a wee dry thing.
Yeah.
Dry, peppery, woody. It's still sweet, but I think it's gone a wee bit dry and dusty.
Marzipan, I get.
Yeah, I did. I think when I reviewed it, I got marzipan. So this one, 13. Have you had any of the? You're a bit of a GlenAllachie fan, aren't you, Paul?
Yes, yeah.
You're a GlenAllachie fan?
Bit of a pervert for them, unfortunately. I've never had that one before.
Trying, isn't it?
Say again?
I said it's quite drying on the on the palate.
Yeah, it's dry. Yeah.
With a little bit of
Yeah,
water.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, there's top shelf. How you doing, Dustin? How's it going, mate? Nice to see you. Andy Cross is in as well, mate. How you doing, Andy? Andy's local to here. How you keeping, mate? What you got in your glass, Andy? You drinking? You off it? You on it? Oh, Gav's back. Get a drum roll out, man. Gav's back. So kitted up with his spring bug t-shirt on and his Cadenheads jumper and all that,
So I'm getting pears and banana now. Some pears and a little bit of banana.
Yeah, I did get apple and pear, but
Yeah, right at the back.
can't quite find the banana. That could be that kind of tropical thing. It's a wee bit tropical.
I'd get a
More on
foam
the nose,
banana
I think
out
I
of
got
that.
the tropical. Yeah, I think that's the confectionery sweetie shop thing.
Yeah.
With Neil's Swizzlers and Love Hearts in there with them, So yeah, GlenAllachie Distillery. Just let us know in the chat, guys, what you're drinking. If you've got any reason you're drinking along with us, let us know. If we're talking shite or whatever. Whiskey friend, all good, thanks, mate. He's long more than 16. He's no holding back there, is he?
No.
An old Longmore.
Alan, we was talking about the Old Portly 17. I was chatting to Ed last night, and he was on that last night.
Oh wow!
He was drinking some 17 Old Portly.
Well, I'm glad that it's getting drunk. That's the kind of main thing. I think it's I'm glad that it's getting. I've went through probably 2 bottles. As I say, I've probably got a couple left in the bottle of this third one, and I think I've got one left in the bunker. I'm recovering from nights last night, so what? All right, they must have been. Dustin must have been doing some videos last night. I think they tend to do a few at a time. The recorder. Guys, if any of you have not followed Top Shelf, dive in, give him a wee sub, give him a shout. Yeah, they do some good whiskies, man. No cheap whiskies for them boys, is there? No. Oh, fine. Peated. Indie Festival. I think is any's gone to the Indie Festival. I think Gav's asking if anybody's gone to the Indie Festival.
Yeah, I'll be going.
No, Cash is with Croydon down here, so I'll be going to Croydon this time, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a rough one, isn't it, Croydon?
Yeah,
I bet that's a rough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well,
it's interesting.
Man. I tell you, Dave, I used to project manage some shop openings back in the day, mate, right? And we opened a shop in Bromley. But I was staying in Croydon. And I don't know if you know, there's a little kind of retail park where there's a little mini airport thing, a RAF airport thing across from it. I think that's in Croydon. Don't know if it rings any bells. Like an RAF kind of, I don't know if it's a flight school or something. But that one night we were in that place, man, and there was a drive-by shootings going on in the retail park.
That's business as usual, Alan. That's the sort of place you go and count your fillings on the way out.
I think it was that So Solid crew mob. I think it was something to do with them, I think. But yeah, no, that was a rough place, Croydon. Bromley I thought was quite nice, but Croydon, wow. So is that quite a big festival then in Croydon?
It's not particularly. Lots of indies there. It's not it's just an interesting. It's not a big festival, so it's only a one-dayer. but it just clashed, and I bought the tickets, or a load of us had bought tickets months ago. So, and then when we found out the date for the Indie one, oh my god, bad timing. Next year, do it next year.
Okay. Yeah, I think that indie festival in Edinburgh, I think that's only going to grow anyway. That's only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
Getting over the flu, so running on 2 to 3 of my 2/3 smell and me skip whiskey. It's nice to see you, Tim. Hope you're feeling better, my friend. So that was a good start there, eh?
Yep, lovely.
Let's get a Madeira.
Been a while since I had it.
What was the price of that, Alan? What would that?
55, 55, I think. 55 quid. If they're still available now, they're probably heading 60, 65, I think now. But I think they replaced one of them series. I think the sherries, they did them in seasons, I think. I think the sherry one they're doing the Amontillado, they're doing a Palo Cortado one, and I think there's an Oloroso, and I think there's 4 of them, I think. That's the sherry one. But this was the Madeira. I think there's a PX one here as well. There's quite a few of them over there. And there's a 13. I think I've got a 13 Oloroso one. That's as dark as hell, man. But it's not quite as good as the old 14. It used to be a 14 before it. But yeah, no, he goes through a lot of good stuff. Old Billy Walker. Let's see if I've messed up. What does Gav say? I don't know if you're more than welcome to come in for a dram on Friday. Okay. I think I don't know if that's aimed at me or it's aimed at everybody in the chat. Like everybody can drop into Gav's on the Friday if you want. Raid his Springbanks and his Caden heads and all that, you know. Yeah, I hope you're well, Gav. So, let's go ahead. This is quite interesting, this one. I don't know if... I think you were interested in this one, Dave. Old Perth. We've done much with Old Perth before.
Nothing for me. Nope.
No, nothing.
No. I kind of got onto these... Neil will probably remember at Southport, I kind of fell in love with an Old Perth Palo Cortado at Southport. Which I've since then picked up a couple. But then this Manzanilla one came up. So this is Manzanilla. 53.4% ABV. Just a wee quick one on Old Perth. It's Morrison's Distillers. They tend to do blended Scotch, blended malt, blended whiskey. Usually sherry matured. And I think most of the distilleries they use come out of Speyside. And it's usually 2 or 3 whiskies involved in their makeup. This one had 11 Manzanilla casks involved. I think it was 6. Where am I looking? Yeah, 6 Hoggies and 5 Manzanilla butts. So yeah, and it's limited edition. But it's quite a big one. It's 4,200 bottles. And I thought this Old Perth is one that I've picked up quite a few of recently. I've just picked up a couple of the others. There's a Deployment 7, which I think is an Oloroso black whiskey again, man. But that looks nice. And I've got a review coming up of the original Old Perth. I've got a few Old Perth videos in the pipeline at the minute. But this is different, isn't it?
It's got a lot going on. Yeah.
This is different to that. This almost smells a wee bit kind of earthy.
Yeah.
Outdoory kind of. It's floral and it's fragrant, but it's got that kind of. There's something different about it.
I'm getting
there's
again.
There's a lot of sweetness there. Again, I'm getting the honey. I'm getting some lime on that as well.
I'm getting funky, honey. There you go.
Yeah. I agree.
That's probably the word I was looking for, was funky, but I didn't want to steal. You know, that's the kind of springback word that I didn't want to steal the word funky.
There's a lot going on this night.
When I first smelt this before the tasting, I got like a creamy vanilla note, like a cream soda, but I'm not getting that now on the second sniff. Initially, it like you say, it is a bit more outdoory, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can get your cream. I can get your cream soda from that.
You do. You
Yeah,
remember the
I know
old
you mentioned
Corona bottles where you
Yeah,
can take
yeah,
the bottle back
yeah.
and get 5 pence,
Definitely.
or 2 pence if you're really old.
This is 10 pence for me.
What are you trying to say, Neil?
Yeah, no, definitely a little bit of a like convectory sweetness rather than
Yeah.
natural sweetness.
Yeah, but it is the more I get into it, there's a lot. It's fruity, it's honeyed, spicy, peachy.
Oh,
And it's probably a wee bit more funkier than I remember it. And I think when you get to taste it, although I see some of you have tasted it now, I think it's even different again on the taste.
It's certainly different.
wow. What's those little biscuits you get? The Italian biscuits?
Amaretti.
Amaretti, yeah.
I'm getting beer. I'm getting quite a bit of beer on it.
I actually think that's on the notes, Paul.
The Amaretti?
On the notes, it says floral, almond, crisp orchard fruit, amaretti biscuits,
All right, okay.
and
No oxo,
and
no oxo or
honey,
anything?
and honey flavour. This is a wee bit fizzy as well. This.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can feel that on the top of your gums, the fizziness.
Fizzy. It's a wee bit hot.
Yeah.
What was the ABV again? That was 50 something, wasn't it? 50.
53.4.
Okay, yeah.
53.4. Wow.
And then what's this retail for?
55.
Okay.
55 quid. You might find it might be that 55, 60, 65, depending where you buy it. I think places like Master of Malt and the Whisky Exchange, I think you'll find it a little bit on the cheaper side, but I think if you go to your locals, you might have that extra couple of quid. Which
I get a little
is
bit
very
of
warming.
metallic,
Yeah.
like a metallic note as well. You know, a bit like if you've been playing darts and then lick your fingers, it's that.
playing darts. Who plays darts these days?
Well, no,
I do.
everyone does.
Dave, I'm getting
It's-
a bit worried of you, man. Darts and golf, man. What's going on? Are you finding a new lease?
Oh, you have no idea.
Midlife crisis
You have
again.
no idea.
Actually, it's quite warming as well. I wish it wasn't, because it's bloody hot in this room, but it's warming as well.
Oh, it's hot. I'm finding
Yeah.
it hot and punchy and maybe even a wee bit chilly. It's a wee bit, like I said, it doesn't make sense, but it's chilly heat rather than.
And it's 53%,
Zesty.
isn't it? So it's a bit more power than the last one. So
It's a wee bit more salty on the palate. I get a wee bit of salty note on it as well.
Yeah.
I'm finding the little series that I'm doing, guys, with the independents. I don't know how you guys are with independent bottlers and things, but I'm finding I'm gravitating more to them.
100%.
I think you're
Yeah.
finding more of the integral stuff, the better ABVs, cask strengths, single casks, even the blended malt stuff and the blended Scotch stuff. I think they're really up in the game because they're putting in top class stuff. First fill this, first fill that, you know. So I think they're kind of trying to gravitate towards the geek and the whiskey enthusiast, whereas I think the big multinational corporations, they're not giving two tosses about us, man. They're just sending us whatever they want to send us. So I think I've picked up recently quite a few more of the indie bottlings.
I think you get better value, don't you? Really, for an indie,
Yes,
usually quite
I think
often
that
cash
is-
strength and good stuff.
Well, I think the Signature is the classic example for good value. What they're kicking out at the moment, they're kicking everybody out the window.
Yeah, look at Gav. Gav's dived in. Look, yeah.
Exactly.
I think he's the
Well, it's-
chairman. I think.
Yeah,
Sure, he's the
Caden Edge,
chairman, isn't he?
Yeah, Caden Edge, you can't go wrong with Caden
Yeah,
Edge.
but no, I think he started the group, and he started an independent whiskey group. I think.
Okay.
I think he's the main man. I think. How you doing, Ted? Nice to see you, mate. Vid 12 Arnold on the glass today. Signary Vintage. I think they're knocking it out. I've just been doing some work on a video today, guys, and it's my favourite 5 independent bottlers. I'm going to do you a disclaimer now. It's not a short video. It's quite a long video, man. So if you've got half an hour to sit down and take your time with it. So I covered quite a few bottles in it, to be fair. But yeah. So what are you thinking of that one then, eh? Is that worth the money?
I would say so,
55
yeah.
quid, 60 quid?
Yeah. It's got a bit going on, isn't it? It's not that simple. It's yeah, it's nice.
That's the thing. I think the main thing I'm getting for the indies now is they're upping the games, man. They're kind of giving us really what we want. They're making it hard for us not to take notice of them. No marketing, as Ralphie would say, or no bombarding you with marketing, and it's just word of mouth, isn't it? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, but these are predominantly everything's predominantly in sherry casks, and as I say, I think they're all run about the Speyside region. I say these have been kicking around since 1908, I think. Yeah, 1908. So they're no kind of new kids on the block. They've been around, you know. They're even having a big statement saying that they're specially selected to honour the birthplace of blending. So yeah, Perthshire, I think they are. They're up there in Perthshire. They're too far from you, Paul.
No, not too far, just an hour up the road.
Yeah, no, that's quite nice, that, man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with it.
There's loads. I think that what surprised me there, I've not had that for a while because this is probably the longest I've laid out waiting. And it looks like it definitely needs some time in the glass just to kind of complex. Did you see that's complex?
Yeah, I would say
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Don't know if I've tried it with water, but Penny's tried it with water.
I
Yeah.
stuck a little bit of water in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Syrupy. Such a thing as a salty plum. It's like a salty plum, man. It's plummy and it's salty and it's spicy and yeah, it's interesting, man. It's Ted saying, here we go. Let's see where we are. California, we have K&L wine that has old relationships with the bottlers and they bring us lots of bottles with variety, ages, price ranges. Cool. So did you do have you seen any old Perth over there in the States, Tim? Not too sure if they cover that, but almost everything I buy lately is independent bottle. Thompson Britain's hitting out the park. Yeah, they seem to be leading the way. Let's cast strength. 58.6, the one I had. I must have been talking to somebody else. Yeah, well, where's Roy? How you doing? Look here, where's Roy? Love darts. He looks like a dart player, doesn't he? Yeah. Right. You ready for the next one?
Yeah,
Good.
definitely.
Old Perth. So what's your
Excited about this
takings
one.
on Old Perth then, guys? What you getting out of that? Manzanilla, are you finding what I think the Manzanilla for me is making it a wee bit fizzy and a wee bit kind of, it's that definitely that sweetness and fizzy and inside anything else in Manzanilla.
I think Glasgow did one. Did a peated one in the Manzanilla,
Mm.
Okay.
and it was nice. I had it at a tasting somewhere. I didn't have a bottle of it, but that's the second one that I've had. Lovely. An awful lot
So
going on.
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what this Kalila at the end does, because that Palo Cortado and Manzanilla are that kind of
Similar, fizzy.
little relatives. So I think that'll be interesting to see what the peat does. You might find this gives you the peat thing that your Glasgow one did, but obviously it's Palo. So here we go. Yeah, cool runnings. Oh, how you doing, buddy? Guess and yeah, some nice guys there. I've got a few people. Some faces I've not spoke to for a long time, man. Don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Hmm.
So we're racing through these guys. Let me get a wee quick water. Okay, Campbeltown's coming up, so this might hog the chat for a bit, as Campbelltown's usually does.
I thought you changed the order. Is it Campbelltown next, or
Hope not, because I've been smelling
No,
that
no,
Glen
no,
Old.
you're right.
You
Well,
changed the
well
order.
spotted.
Somebody have a
Well
word with Alan.
Oh, Alan.
That's not water in that bottle. There's no water in that bottle.
I'm just trying to bring a little bit of personality, man. Come on, give me a chance. Yeah, let's go to let's head to Manchester.
It should be the interesting one.
Chorlton whiskey. This is interesting, Dave. So let me
Well,
make sure
I know nothing about this at all. What's the deal with them?
Is
so
Glen Old
Chorlton
the
whiskey.
distillery? Is Glen Old the distillery,
Yes.
Alan, or is it
Yeah.
Singleton the
Yes.
distillery? Does Glen Old? I'm confused.
It's a space side, I think.
Oh.
I think it's a space side.
No, I think it's Highland.
Is it?
I think it's
Okay.
Highland, mate. I'm sure somebody corrected me in the chat.
I think it's a space
the
side.
video was Highland.
I thought it was space side.
Yeah, I think it
I'm
is.
sure I've been there.
I said it was a space side in the video, and I think somebody corrected me and told me it was a Highland. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the chat if it's Highland or space side, man. I'm sure I had this when I did this video. It came up in the chat that it was. I said it was a space cider, but somebody corrected me and said it was Highland.
I think it is a space side.
I can't see anything on here. Who's googling?
No, I'm looking at one of the books. Oh, it's okay.
Highland, didn't it?
It says Northern Highlands here. Diageo
Yeah.
own it.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody corrected me
Yeah.
in the chat. They said it was a Highlander. But yeah, so Chorlton Whiskey, Paul, that is an independent bottler from near me. He's only a couple of miles away from me in Manchester.
Okay.
It's called Chorlton. Chorlton's a place in Manchester. So hence it's Chorlton Whiskey. But they do these fantastic, the labelling's awesome. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can show that. But yeah, real interesting labels on these, man. But yeah, this is single cask. Yeah, single cask, 57.9, 8 years Glen, and I think it spent all 8 years in first fill Oloroso, so it's a punchy Oloroso.
You definitely get the sherry on the nose. Loads of jam and sherry.
Oh, this is a sherry bomb for me, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, Gert? Nice to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Watched one of your videos today. What was one I watched today? 6 new whiskies for 25. I think I watched that. Yeah, no, this is
It's
Right,
just
thanks.
northwest of Inverness, it says on Google Maps. So just outside Speyside.
Yeah, I think Ebhead is hoping that they go to the Leith. I don't know if I've seen them on the list, but
And a bit of furniture polish.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I thought beeswax. Yeah, I was thinking beeswaxy thing.
I was thinking more own brand Morrison's furniture polish.
Here we
Oh
go.
no,
Here we go.
old Perth is Morrison's. Paul, the old Perth. That's Morrison's brand. That one.
Okay, Sainsbury's then. Sainsbury's own brand furniture polish.
Yeah, the Peahead's got it. Look, the northwest of Inverness and Diageo sounds like a GlenAllachie.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely, lovely smell. Lovely.
So this is, yeah, Paul Oloroso, man.
Is anybody getting wax out of
Salted
this? Or
caramel.
getting it quite waxy? Quite
Yeah,
waxy.
Yeah, I've got a beeswaxy thing. It's waxy on the mouthfeel. It's definitely waxy.
It smells and tastes a lot older than 8-year-olds. 8-year-old, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So this is again heading back to the Indies. I can't ever see Diageo putting this out like this.
No.
It's took somebody to get a hold of this and run with it.
Yeah.
And fair play to David at Chorlton Whisky for doing it, man. There's lots of nice stuff here. I've got a few of his kicking around up there.
It's just like an old school.
interesting.
It's like an old school sherry bomb, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is Christmas. This is a Christmas drink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
day
yeah.
long.
And I've got Christmas pudding down here, Christmas pudding, salted caramel, orange peel, that jammy fruits, sticky, flavory. On. So yeah, no, that's a super stuff, man. So
Good. That's good.
It's a proper sherry bomb, man. So you're into your sherries, then that's the way to go. I think it's well, and it's totally mouth coating. Goes on. It's gone on forever.
Yeah, it lasts for a long time.
Yeah, proper good
Pennies
dram.
is
That.
just it's going on and on and on.
This is the type of dram you want to lick your teeth. It's coats your teeth, your mouth, your up, down, everywhere. It's lovely.
Right. Yeah, sounds like a good one. It is. It's
And it doesn't take what's 57.9 ABV. Does not taste like that.
super.
It's a good price as well, Alan, isn't it? It's 65 quid, something like that.
See, 65, I think it was. Yeah, 65, 67, something like that. And it's fuck Phil Oloroso, single cask, 8 years. But you're right, it tastes older than 8.
Yeah, it does.
Tastes older than 8, man. So I'm going to interject in a minute, guys. I'm going to do a wee advert for myself in a minute now. I'm going to just, where are we? I'm just going to plug the sets. So people are probably, nobody's mentioned it. I don't know if you can see them here, but I've started doing little sample packs, guys, and the guys that are on the chat with you today have been very generously picking them up as we go along. There was a couple of guys due to come on tonight who couldn't make it tonight. I think the football got in the way, or it's either football or stage fright. But I think these little packs, I'm going to build them, guys, and they're exclusive because I can build a pack. So if you've got a whiskey club or you want to do a whiskey tasting session, you want to put some packs together, I can certainly help with that. Or I've got a couple here. I've got an independent bottling pack. I can do them in 30 mils or 50 mils. I can mix them up, do whatever you really want to do. So really, anybody that's interested and wants to pick up some of these packs, then they're more than welcome to pop onto the email below. Just catch me on email. I'll give you more information about them, let you know what's going on. I think the 30 mil ones are coming in at 30 quid. The 50 mils are coming in at 50 quid. So yeah, anybody that's interested, just kind of give me a shout there. Plug done. Let's head back. Yeah, I can still taste that whiskey. Awesome. That to me is what it's a proper sherry bomb. That.
Mm-hmm. That's a real eye opener for me.
Can you imagine that at 15, 16, 17 years old, man?
Yeah.
That'd be incredible. A little bit of coffee on the finish now. Maybe coffee, mocha, chocolatey, cinnamon and ginger. So yeah, it's real nice.
I'm getting the cinnamon, Alan.
Sticky.
Yeah, definitely getting cinnamon. Definitely getting cinnamon.
Yeah, it just doesn't, like you say, it doesn't stop. It keeps on sitting in the mouth. It's phenomenal.
Delivering. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that and I say I've tasted this a right good few times now, man, and it's different every time. It's delivering something different, and it never seems to disappoint. So yeah, lovely.
Dram, very good.
Nice.
I think they've kept their prices quite sensible as well, haven't they, over the years? Because I'm just looking at what I've got on, in my collection, and I bought a couple of these Chorlton ones a good while back, and it's similar prices, so they've not shot up, they're not double the price. So
tell you what, I think he does. I think he only does maybe. He limits himself to he does so many bottles a year, I think. I don't think it's in the high numbers. I think it may be, I think he does them seasonally. I think he may come into the summer and he'll do 2 or 3 bottles for the summer. Heading into the autumn, there'll be another couple of bottles in the autumn. I thought he's pretty kind of specific in what he does. I don't think he's producing masses and masses of whiskey. I think they're all this kind of single cask, low numbers. I think a lot of them are single cask, to be fair. I don't think he does. And I'm pretty sure they're all single cask, to be fair. Let me just check these other ones, guys, while I'm here. Have a chat amongst yourselves.
So I'm very intrigued about that Chorlton place. So you tried quite a few of them then, you guys?
Yeah, it's quite local because Manchester's not far from me. So in my local in Cheshire, my local shop used to have these, but it's quite limited. They only have a few bottles.
Right.
So again, they don't do very big runs, like Alan said. I think they are mainly single casks. So you won't see them all over the place.
Yeah.
This one here is a GlenAllachie. 12-year-old GlenAllachie. And that is 56.8. Cast strength, natural colour, unchill filtered. I think that's 287, that one. It's only 287 of that. And then I've got this. Got Scotia. So he's done a Scotia.
The labels are quite kind of compass boxy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No, they're quite distinct. They're all pretty much the same sort of theme. So this is the Boon of Having. That's his first fill as well, I think. First fill barrel. Catch strength, natural, until filtered. Yeah, 255 that one as well, I think. 59.9. So yeah, no, they're real good stuff. Chorlton. And yeah, he just kind of plods away. He'll just drop the odd email out, say I've got a couple of bottles available, blah blah blah. No massive marketing dig. It's just, you'll have his own kind of people who have been buying from him, and they'll just let you know what's going on.
Yeah,
He
I've never heard
must
of
be
it
one of the
before.
smallest ones.
Yeah.
Independents.
Yeah.
One of the smallest independents about, really.
Absolutely. I think I'd be surprised if he does more than 10 bottlings a year.
Mm.
And I think he does it out his garage, I think. So I think it's similar like the way Thompson Brothers was. I think it's that kind of setup.
Mm.
Small garage, shed, whatever it is. Similar. I think the guys are all getting onto themselves. They're all on a bit Brora now, man. What's the Brora chat going on?
I'm talking about Lindbergh.
All right, yeah. Yeah, you can keep us up to scratch on these. I can't do two things at the same time, Dave.
I'll
Can't
watch
do
it.
this
Don't worry, Alan.
multitasking thing. Can't do this multitasking thing. Let me know if I've missed anybody talking to me, man. Yeah. I always find that when I go back on the replay and I've missed loads. Try to find it here, man. But they're all kind of. Yeah, I think that when's Lindborg now? That can't be far away, is it?
No. Something I want to do next year.
Check. Yeah, there's a list relief. Chorlton isn't announced, so I don't think Chorlton are on it. I didn't think they were on that. Sure, he does. He does a job. I think. I think he does this as a hobby. I think.
End of April, Peter saying. End of April.
End of April. Yeah, I've just got that. Yeah, end of April. Cheers, Roll. Glad somebody's listening to me. So let's head to Campbeltown, Glen, Scotia. I think it gets a wee bit of a raw deal, doesn't it? Glen, Scotia. You guys, I know certainly you will deal. You, Dave, might remember as well. I think Glen, Scotia was the ugly duckling back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always been in the shadow of
Campbeltown.
the big SB anyway, but yeah, it was the ugly duckling. It's coming up leaps and bounds.
I seem to remember did they have cows or something on the bottles or something?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I think they had crazy coloured bottles, didn't they, with like white cows on them?
They certainly
So next
produced
one.
the best whiskey in Campbelltown, though, the Victoriana. Nothing beats that in my eyes.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing with the Victoriana, I've never seen myself rush to replace it.
No,
That makes sense.
No,
Yeah.
but when you put it against other whiskies, you see how good it is.
Yeah, no, I think that's the case. I think, yeah. But I think it's one of them, it kind of ducks under the radar a wee bit. And I think sometimes when I finish the bottle, I think, do you know what, I'm going to buy another one of them. And that doesn't seem to want. Like the Glen Scotia 15, as soon as that went off, that was getting low. I was stocking up on that. So I was a big Glen Scotia 15 fan. Early back when I first started kind of doing this, that was my kind of go-to 15 was the Glen Scotia 15. Because then it was only about 50, 55 quid, I think. But now I think it's probably heading towards, I don't know, 70, 75, something like that now for that 15. I'm pretty sure I can pick it up somewhere cheaper, but this one here, this is interesting. So this is the Icons of Campbeltown series. This is release number 2, and this is the dragon. Fiery red dragon on here. It's medium peated, and it's finished. How long has it got? And let's see what my notes is telling me here. So, yeah, it is 13 and a half years in bourbon barrel. in 6 months in red wine cask, for Barolo red wine cask. And again, this is a limited edition, but I don't know what the limited edition is because I think you can still buy this, can you? I think this is still available, I think. So that's still available, I think. So I don't know what the limited is, but
I think it was like
yeah,
20,000 bottles or something like that. So it's quite a big limited condition, you know.
Yeah, I think this is 56.8. So this is another big one. Lightly medium peat on this. And when I actually smelt this just before we came on, it became a wee bit more peaty than I thought it was when I first poured it. So that's a bit more of that kind of coastal maritime.
I was going to say seaweed all day long. Maritime seaweed.
Seaweed, yeah. I got
get it
let's have a look.
All of it. All of it.
Yeah. I got
seaweed, salty seaweed.
Ocean spray I got, and I've got a little bit of Band-Aid. You know, you sticking plaster.
So that smoky vibe. The smoky vibe is just distant, isn't it? It's not as if it's jumping out at you. It's just there.
But behind that salt, there's loads of fruit. I'm getting loads of fruit now. Picking out fruit on this. Red apples, red fruit.
Yeah, I've got one for you, and I know I'm going to regret saying it. So we'll just get out there. We'll get out of the way just now. Savalon.
Oh,
here we go again, Paul. Here we go. Deja vu here from last time.
Savalon and Oxo, eh?
Which I would think that would mean medicinal, but I don't get medicinal from this.
That's moving on. That's moving on for Neil's Band-Aid, I think. I think you're just taking that to the next level.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice nose. I really like that.
That's beautiful.
Red fruit,
and completely
loads of red fruit. You're right. You're right. Once you get past the Campbell,
there's red fruit all the way. Yeah.
Maritime, there's red berry fruit. But I think you could be influenced by but you guys are no influence because when you look at this label, all you're thinking, you're seeing is red, aren't you?
Well, I've done 2 bottles, so I'm a bit biased.
Yeah, so everything's red. So the dragon, so I'm sure everybody knows, but unless I don't think Paul might, but the Campbeltown series, it's the icons, it's to commemorate all those mythical creatures back in the day in Campbeltown. I think the first one was a mermaid. This one's the dragon. Has anybody put out what the third one's going to be? Any word on the third yet? What that's going to be?
I haven't heard.
They all kind of hover around Campbeltown Cross 200 years ago, man. The old mermaid was sitting around there and the old dragon would pop up and have a chat with her. Yeah, no, this is again, and it's the peat thing. I don't think even if you only a peat head, I think this would still be interesting to you.
It's sweet peat, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
This is right up my street. That sweet peat thing's for me.
It's really good. It's really good.
Let's send it. Cheers. Colour-wise, nice, real nice colour as well, man. This is my Southport whiskey glass. Surprised I never broke this one, Dave.
That's a great mouth on this.
Yeah,
great.
It's really good.
Intense. It's punchy, spicy, salty. Lovely.
I like to compare it with the number one because that was really good as well.
Have you got the mermaid home?
I've drank 2 bottles. I've still got 2 bottles.
Here's the thing with this whiskey, right? This is probably the most expensive one on the lineup. This was what, 98 quid or something, wasn't it?
98 quid,
95, something like that, yeah.
98 quid when it first came out, yeah.
90 quid to 100 quid this one was. So this is the most expensive on the lineup, I think. But here's the thing, I think, with this one for me. It smells great. So as the noses go, it's a great nose. But then when you go to the palate, it's a different level again.
Yeah.
You know, it just goes up a notch. Then you say, "Oh, what a great nose it is," and then you taste it and you think, "Oh, wow, palate's great as well." So sometimes when I review whiskies, sometimes you get a really good nose, and then the palate lets you down a wee bit, and then the finish might pick it up. Or you get a good nose, you get a good palate, and then the finish just drops off a cliff. I think this one for me ticks all the boxes right through from the nose, right through the palate, and even the finish. I don't think it's got quite along the finish as the GlenAllachie is. I think the GlenAllachie seems to hover in a wee bit longer.
And then I think this is quite
This
strange.
is-
At the beginning, and then I get it's actually quite dry to start with, but very, very soon after it becomes the complete opposite,
Absolutely.
mouth-watering. It then becomes
Yeah.
watery, and it's just the opposite. It's dry and then mouth-watering. It's beautiful.
No, it's really good.
It's dry,
It's
it's dry
Drams
on
so far.
arrival. It's a wee bit dry. It's dry and sooty on arrival. And then as it's not too dry for very
It doesn't.
long.
Mm.
It just, before you know it, your mouth's just salivating, and it's,
Yeah.
juicy, sticky.
Your berries, red berries.
Red jams, red berries, red jams, sticky. But at the same time, and it's still spicy. There's a nice spicy thing going through, and I think that's the dragon idea. I think it's giving you some spice and some heat and some fire. And I don't think they would call it the dragon, and it'd be a little bit tame, and there'd be no spice there, and so I think they're thinking it through, and I think it makes sense when they're blending it. Then it makes sense that it's got those kind of fiery intensity things going on. But I get lots of apple, even a wee bit of tropical in there as well, man. There's so much going on. Nice whiskies. It chose these.
When I went to the distillery, Alan, I spoke to Ian, and I actually said, "This is really good. I tasted it there, but I reckon it was 20 quid too dear. It's going to £100 rather than sort of like 85 sort of pound. It's slightly more than the Victoriana, and he didn't argue against that.
So here's your question then. If you had the money, would you buy this or would you buy the Victoriana?
Well, this is different to the Victoriana, so you'd buy both, wouldn't you? If you like Glen Scotia, but I just think Victoriana is a really good whiskey. But some of the distillery own sort of what you buy in the shop, some of those are really absolutely amazing. Then some are really quite not great. It's different casks, different tastes and stuff. But I think this is just, if it was 80 quid, I'd be buying this all day.
Yeah, I might agree. Still good whiskey though, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing
Very good.
whiskey.
I agree. Victoria all day long.
You said Welsh Toro. Welsh Toro's just joined us, man. What you all snorting? Well, just to let you know, Welsh, Paul's been snorting Savalon.
Yeah, I got a few open wounds from the football and the rugby. So
yeah, we've got a few more joined us actually. PX Woodhouse. That looks like a new name. That man. There are no thorns amongst Chorlton, only roses. Nice. There's a few coming again. Peated. I seen him saying something there about I think there's a Glen Scotia SMWS that he's been on about, I think. Alice in Chains or something, did I say? Is that the one I saw?
Yeah, Alice in Campbeltown.
Alice in Campbeltown. Yeah. The one I did, I think it was my favourite ever SMWS one, which was, what was it called, man? Got those crazy names, man. I'm taking a senior moment, I'll come back to it and I'll remember it. But it was, I've lost it, train of thought. So yeah, nice. Is it worth?
Very
Is it worth 98 quid, guys? I know Neil said reckon it's 20 quid cheaper, but you've bought a couple, Dave, haven't you? So it's
yeah.
I
bought 'em.
I've bought a couple as well. I
I
think
suppose you'd like it to be 20 quid cheaper, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I tell you, my thought when this came out and I was paying 98 quid for it, I'm thinking already, what's next year's going to cost?
Hmm.
You know, so what I think they might probably do is to keep it under 100, they'll probably drop it back in age
maybe.
to keep it under 100. So it might become, I don't know, maybe a 9, 8, 9, 10 maybe to try and keep it under that price point. Or can you see them going bigger than 14? See them doing a bigger one than 14?
I think they're trying to compete with the. I know it's different, but they keep competing with the Springbank 10-year-old sherry releases. That's a similar theme, isn't it? You know, and it's a similar price. And I would say it's. I would say this is a better whiskey.
The Springbanks.
Yeah. No.
Here's my thing. I'm glad.
Yeah, I think.
No. I'm glad you mentioned the Springbanks because I think one of the lads earlier was asking about the Springbank 10 cherries, and I think they're coming out too young. I think the 10, and I think they're obviously finishes. I think what they're doing. I think the first one was it PX first.
Yeah.
I think the PX was something like 3 years in PX, and then I think the Palo Cortado was like 4 years in Palo Cortado, 5 years in Amontillado. So I think the next one is probably going to be Fino, with 6 years in Fino. So I think as they're getting older, then I think the sherries are more dominating than the spirit. Does that make sense? So I think you've got a Springbank 10 coming out next year with 6 years in Fino. 5 years in Amontillado. So I think the Amontillado one, what I tasted it this year, I don't think it's as good as the PX. I think the PX for me, the first one that came out was probably the best one. And I think it's the least way of finishing on it. I think it's that there's more of the Springbank stuff in that. And I think as they're coming through the series, I think the kind of Finos and the Sherries are kind of taking over the Springbank spirit. Just my take on it, man. But so, what am I saying? Am I saying that I'm looking forward to the Fino? Absolutely. If I could get one, I'll pick one up. But I wouldn't break a neck to try and get it.
I think they're very good whiskies,
Korea.
Alan. They're really good whiskies, but I was just saying, I think the Glen Scotia, because it's under the radar a little bit, is just as good.
Yeah.
If you get a good one.
This
That's the
does
trouble.
smell beautiful, man.
Yes.
This does smell incredible, man. That chocolate, am I getting chocolate in that as well?
Yeah, I put a bit of water with it, and it changes that smell. It gets more chocolatey, definitely more chocolatey, but still
I
sweet.
think
Very sweet.
Head's a fan. Jammy, sticky, berry. Lovely. Well, let's do another wee sip and then we'll kind of move on to the last one. How are we doing for time, guys? We've got plenty of time.
Yeah, we're good.
Just gets better, Alan. Just gets better and better.
So I'm looking forward to the next one now. Whereas I probably wasn't when I looked this originally. It's during COVID, the private tour being closed off with a warehouse tasting, one of the best tours ever. Yeah, sometimes you land on visits like that, don't you? Where you just kind of end up when everything goes your way, man. You know, they're pretty cool then. Yeah. You know. I think I've seen Frank's heading to Campbeltown, I think. Sure I've seen Pete Head's heading over, I think. Okay, I'm going to do a quick sip of this there. Do
we have to move on, Alan? We stay with this for a couple of hours.
Oh, no, I'm not rushing, mate. I'm not rushing.
That's gorgeous.
You have time and come back to it if you want. I bet you're wishing now I gave you a 50 cl of that one, 50 ml of that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've never seen Dave so happy.
That's what came back in the chat. Some of the guys were saying that I done a couple of guys, I sent them out to them, and I had a couple of guys at work have bought them as well, and that's the thing. They weren't even whiskey guys. But they were saying, man, you could do some bigger bottles, man, and I'd even pay more for them, you know what I mean? So yeah. I thought, the 50s is a decent size anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you tend to find that the reason, one of the main reasons that because a lot of tasting packs I've seen were all kind of 2 ml packs, 20 mLs and 30 mLs, and they're that generally just for that kind of tasting session. And I can imagine the reason why is because they're all probably travelling out to a tasting and having to make their way back, and 5 or 6 drams at 50 mLs, then it's going to have its toll in it. So I think it's the responsible drinking thing. But with the idea of this, you can sit at home and do them. So I'm quite happy to do them at 50, man. Just had to buy some more bottles, man. I'm running out of bottles. You can send me some more bottles, Neil. Yeah, that one, I've done our 48, under 48 one. I'll post that out to you probably Tuesday or Wednesday. When you back? Friday?
Yeah.
So that'll probably
I'm working from home tomorrow, but I'm back Friday, yeah.
Yeah, I won't get them at the time, man. So
no, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
That is a nice one, by the way. That one. I think the bourbon one's nice as well. How you doing, Drew? Arizona. Sorry, late join. I'm glad I was able to pop in. Yeah, Drew, I'm glad you popped in, mate. I'll get that sample out to you probably Tuesday or Wednesday, mate. I'll get it in the post to you. Thank you very much, mate, for your generosity. Don't know how that bottle's going to get to Arizona, man. That's going to be a test, isn't it? I've said some stuff before. Yeah, they're all kind of saying hello to Drew. Arizona, eh? Bet that's hot over there, isn't it?
Not a lot of this room.
Is it always hot there, Drew, in Arizona?
Oh, dear.
Never get any snow. It always reminds me, doesn't it, Arizona? It always reminds me of John Wayne and cowboy country, innit? Okay, let's move on to the last one. Bit more peat. Oh no, I'll tell you what, let me finish this Glen Scotia.
I'm thinking about Westerns now that you've mentioned that, and I'm thinking, who's the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Absolutely, yeah, well, okay, we know who the good is.
Yeah, and we certainly know who's the ugly, Alan.
There's no about the bad, there's no about the bad and the ugly. You guys can fight out for the bad and the ugly. Yeah. That Dave's got a wee bit of Eli Wallish about him, hasn't he?
I'll tell you what, I'm cooking up in this room, I tell you. What a hot bloody room this is.
Yeah.
There's a wee shine in the forehead there, Dave. Be careful.
Yeah, I'm about to close the door. The wife's upstairs watching her TV, and she's back the heating right up.
Yeah. Why don't you invite her in, Dave? Get her to listen to us. Get her to listen to us chat shit.
She wouldn't listen to this crap. Reality TV all day long. I think she's having a laugh with this eating.
Well, with my wife, man. Okay. So, what's this one all about? Have you done much with James Eadie?
Nope. Again, nope.
This is one of these independent bottlers that every time I go to a whiskey festival, they blow me away. I think this was Southport as well, man.
And I don't want to blow your thunder. I was doing some reading with James Eadie. Did you know at one time they owned over 300 pubs?
No.
Yeah, well, they did. They sold all their stuff in their pubs. 300 plus they had.
Wow.
In the
Across
1800s.
Britain? Oh.
I don't know. To be honest. All it said
Well,
was
it's
300
been
plus
around
pubs.
since 1854.
Wow.
So it's been around for a while. So this is Kalila. I was a victim of this again at Southport, Neil. Kalila and Palo Catado. This is 56.1% ABV. This is single cask. Trying to see how many bottles. Single cask, refill Palo Catado. It was distilled on the 1st of April 2013 and bottled on the 14th of August 2023. And it had 9 months at Palo Catado. Is that right? 9 months. Yeah, 9 months in Palo Catado. Finish. Refill Palo Catado hogsheads. So, yeah. Peated. Did they say whether it's heavily peated or... But it's got a big peat content on.
A wee bit of sweetness to it still, though.
They give snow once every few years, man. It's in the 70s today.
It's in its hundreds in this room. Don't worry about it. 70's nothing. Ice cold.
At least you're not wearing a grey top.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, sweet. Malt, ashy. It's a wee bit briny. Wee bit briny, is it?
Yeah, I got coastal.
Yeah.
I also got deep heat muscle rub, but not the real strong stuff. And smelling the first aid kit.
Yeah.
Savalon.
So you get
Here we go.
Savalon, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to get that on every tasting now, Paul.
Medicinal sort of, everything's been sanitized smell of it. The knit doctor, used to come in when you were primary school when you were about 8. You check your hair. Yeah. That's what a little bit of that.
Never had that problem.
Had a wee bit of apples and a wee bit of pears, but kind of cooked, baked apples maybe. Dave drinks whiskey. Just joined, but we'll catch up on the replay. Nice to see you, Dave. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Caught you live last night. Very interesting. Nice wee rant you had. Guys, if you've not followed Drinks Whiskey, then that's another nice little channel you want to just pay attention to. I think he's down your way, Dave. I think he's in the London area somewhere, or the southeast somewhere he is.
Definitely getting that coastal.
Sean Walton. We're in Ottawa, Canada. Wow. Got a cold smell, -2. This is what I always hated when I did these live streams, because the later it gets on there and all these kind of time zones kick in. And I used to always find it hard to get off. You know, it's the Americans are coming in, the Canadians are coming in.
We're getting barley sugar.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the back. On the mouth, I'm getting that.
thing I always kind of get with that Kilkerran thing, I get just, you know, particularly in the heavily peated, to get that lemon citrus, that lemony orangey citrus thing. A wee bit of this, and again, this is a little bit nutty and all. I think the nutty thing is a Manzanilla Palo Cortado thing.
Again, it's quite dry on the palate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't be for long,
on the
mate. That'll ease off again really quick. It'll become mouth-watering.
And it's quite smoky, isn't it? It's sort of like a campfire smoke. Very, sort of.
Well, I think
last
that's
night's
initially
fire.
it comes in sooty and dry, and then it kind of oily, thick. And I think there's a wee bit of charred oak in this somewhere as well. I think I've seen somewhere there's a kind of char thing. So this is still. Well, this again. This is. I said this was single cast, didn't I?
Yeah.
315 bottles of this.
So I don't normally get fizz.
148.
This is the second dram tonight. I'm getting fizzy on the finish.
Yeah, it's that
And I don't
cherry
get fizzy.
thing.
Yeah.
Palo Cortado.
Dave, it's that
Yeah.
Palo Cortado Manzanilla thing. I think that brings a fizzy sherbety thing.
Like
Yeah.
Tizer.
Tizer. Wow. Yeah.
I'm thinking, what's that cremola foam thing that you get? I was thinking more than that sherbety foam vibe, but just a wee bit more outdoor and a bit veggie.
Yeah, a little bit veggie. Yeah, definitely.
It's like an off thing, isn't it? Off veg. So what's the best way of explaining that?
I think it's like cooked apples, but you've cooked it too much. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
You
but
cook the apples
I still
too
get that
much.
apple. I get an apple pie thing as well, man. I get a kind of pie.
Apple pie with
I think
pepper on it.
Well, okay. I prefer sugar on mine, but pepper, I think pepper all day, man. I
White
can see
pepper.
where you're going with the pepper.
Mind you, you've not mentioned custard yet. I'm waiting for that to come.
I've not had any custard notes tonight. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. But this is definitely outdoor. Is it farmyardy, barnyardy, that kind of, is it that? It's definitely earthy and outdoor, and I'm just thinking it's like some sort of bog. It's like a vegetal, I don't like to say rotten veg, but it's kind of off veg, that kind of thing. Is it Isle of Peat? But where's the peat? Where's the peat, man? I think it smell like Isle, taste and smell like Isle of Peat. I think it says.
Definitely more medicinal than the Glen Scotia.
Yeah, I think there's more peat in it. I think this is full on peat. And then I think this is
when you say medicinal though, it's not a Lafroig. It's not that.
No.
Medicinal. It's very soft medicinal.
Yeah, it is.
It's not
So what was the ABV in this one?
56.1.
It's nice.
Yeah.
This is one I overindulge in this one at Southport. The two, I think if we go back to, me and Neil went to Southport Whisky Festival together, and I think my story of the day was Palo Cortado. So the old Perth Palo Cortado and this James Eadie Palo Cortado. I was back and forward from those counters pretty much.
So it's got a bit
Another
of
good
a
dram.
Port Charlotte feel to it. That kind of sweet peat thing.
This is where I'm thinking if is this an Isla peat or I don't think it's a mainland peat. I think this might be Highland peat, Isla peat.
Well, it's definitely coastal.
It'd be Isla peat, wouldn't it be in Kalila?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah. They don't do much. I've not tried many Kalilas to be fair, and I'm surprised because they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the first for me.
Every independence day in Kalila, every Kalila is just coming for everywhere. And I'm surprised at how little I've actually done in Kalila.
I think that's sometimes because the bog standard releases from Kalila are quite disappointing. But when you go to an independent Kalila, you're really surprised and shocked how good they are. You know, because it produces a lot of whiskey, doesn't it? It might be the biggest in Ireland.
It's the biggest. I think I'm pretty sure it's 12 million litres, something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
12 million litres. That's why there's a lot available with it. You know what I mean? So it does go into a lot of the Johnny Walkers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm sure it goes into a load of the Johnny Walkers. I think the green label's Kalila, I think. Black label, I think, might be Kalila as well.
Excuse me.
Green label definitely has it, but I think with this, there's a lot of new stuff coming out of Ireland now. Some good new stuff. I think, as you said, a lot of the bulk standard stuff is lackluster, but the IBs are fantastic. You get a good Kalila, and you can't go wrong.
Gav. Gav's telling us that Kalila is a soft peat.
Yeah.
That's probably why it suits me a wee bit better. There we go. What am I done? 6.5 million. I'm probably cuckoo land there.
Yeah, 6.5 million, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it's bigger than that somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty big though, isn't it? It's not small.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think there's another 2 distilleries planned, isn't there, on Isla?
Yeah.
You think it can take another 2?
You can find it can do anything wrong.
The market's shrinking, isn't it?
No, but I think everywhere, when we visited Ireland, I think the problems we found is staffing levels and, you couldn't get pubs that were staffed properly. You couldn't get a restaurant that was staffed properly. And even we went to Lagavulin, we couldn't go to the shop because they didn't have anybody to staff the shop. And getting around the infrastructure.
It's a huge problem, even in Scotland now, like up north, you go to Aviemore. And you go anywhere in the kind of, not so much, Inverness is okay, but in these little places outside there, they're all struggling for staff. Everywhere you go is a buffet restaurant now. Aaron's the same. Aaron's exactly the same.
Aaron's the same, yeah. And they're struggling to staff it, and even just getting around, because it's trying to get around, you have to book a taxi for the day and all that kind of stuff, and and getting around on buses and stuff. I don't know if it could take another 2. Certainly be challenging, to.
So, Alan, what made you choose these 5 whiskies then? What was the thoughts behind that?
I thought I wanted to tackle something with the finishes. So I've dug out the Madeira, because that GlenAllachie with it, so a kind of Speyside, kind of wood finish, that kind of Madeira finish. Then I thought I'd like to see the Manzanilla against the Palo Cortado.
Right.
And because I'm doing this kind of independent bottling thing as well, I've been looking at a load of the indie bottles that I've got, and I thought this would be quite an interesting set to put together. So I think when you come today tasting lineups, and I think it's you could look at it many ways. You could look at it as let's do a sherry lineup, let's do a peated lineup, and I tend to prefer the ones where I kind of integrate them in.
Yeah.
Start through with something sherry and something lighter, and then head up with some peat at the end of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point of view, that's why I think it's quite interesting for me, because I'm just starting to get to grips with these building tasting packs, and I'm looking at what I've got, and I'm thinking what would sit well with what would make it interesting, what would make it an interesting watch for people to. Not to say I didn't even plan this originally. I just planned the doing the tasting packs and trying to do a real nice set of whiskies that somebody could sit down and have a good night with. You know, or a couple of mates could buy a couple of packs and sit down together and share them together and have a good night. And you know, it'd be a challenging night and an interesting night. And that was my kind of thinking with them. And then I think this next one I've got, I think that was quite interesting as well, because I got this Ardbeg Eureka, the new committee release. My favourite Hazelburn 10, which was the 2021 Hazelburn 10. So I popped that in. And then my Whiskey of the Year 2023, I think, Kilkerran 16. And then I thought I'll dive in because Glenglasser was in my mind at the minute, and I was battling through that Sand End, and I thought that would be quite good in this lineup. I think there's a wee bit of Manzanilla. This was the one I was going to put in, Neil, to the tasting. But this has got a wee bit of Manzanilla in it as well. And then obviously the Ardnaho inaugural, I thought, why not? It's make a nice lineup. So I think that was the planning behind them. I think the indie ones I had were a wee bit different. I've got the old Perth. That's just the original one, that old Perth. Signity Vintage Ben Nevis, heavily peated. That one. And then I had the interesting one with this was North Star. So I've gone through so many independent bottlers that I've got. So this North Star one popped out, which was an Oak Rust again, which is a Diageo distillery. This was 11 years old. There is a periodical. So I don't know if you know about the periodical range. I don't even know if they still do them. Is they'll buy up casks, and they might buy remnants of a cask.
Oh.
So the North Star will buy the remnants of a cask. You might have a cask and bottle half of it and leave a half, and North Star will buy the other half. And then what they'll do, they'll bottle it at 50%. They'll put it in a 50 cl bottle, 50 cl bottle, and they'll charge 50 quid for it. So it's all about 50. So that was quite an interesting one. And then I've just cracked the Thompson Brothers Tullibardine 10. About Thompson Brothers. And then I had this really, really nice SMWS Bunnahabhain bottled breakfast. Story with that one, Paul, is that when I seen bottled breakfast, I'm thinking sausage, egg, bacon, black pudding.
Tatty's gone.
Tatty's gone. And then when I tasted it, it was porridge and Weetabix and cornflakes and rice puff, crispies and all that.
What's
so
a tatty scone?
Totally nice.
What's a tatty scone?
I'll explain that.
A potato scone.
I'll explain that. Yeah.
It's literally just potato, fried potato. There you go. There's more to it than that, but it's fried potato. Dave, I will send you some.
Yeah.
With some OXO cubes and some Savalon.
No, you OXO cube.
So that was my thinking with them. So I thought I was putting some packs together, and I'm quite enjoying the trying to dig out a kind of lineup rather than And I've got a wee bit of respect there for people who do those kind of make those tasting sessions and plan those out and all that kind of stuff, because it's not a case of just putting 5 whiskies together.
Yeah, no, you can see it, and I think that's what I like about it the most. I'm getting to try whiskies that I've never tried before.
Yeah, and that's
I
what they're all
think
about.
it's good, and there's a story behind them all as well, and I like the way you're thinking about it, because I've had a few of my pals over to do whiskey tastings, and you think, I know what I'm going to do, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, you start thinking more about it. But no, I like it, very good.
Yeah. No, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for your contributions. Thanks for picking up samples packs. I think I had a few more people coming in. So I think the next thing, are we finished on Kalila? What were you thinking of the Kalila then? What were we thinking of James Eadie? Would that make you maybe consider looking at a James Eadie bottle?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, 100%.
The only thing I think with them is they're heavy pricey. They're that kind of. They're all age stated, so they've all got age statements. They're all non-chill filtered. They're all non-chill filtered, natural colour and all that. There is kind of 2 versions of it. So this kind of black box, I think, is the kind of single cask ones. See, they're all ages. They're all high ABVs. I've just done a Manic. I've just picked up a 12-year-old Manic Moor. Where have I done with that one? Let me see where that one is. Let me see if I can get it. Just show you the difference. Okay.
So Neil, have you ever tried a potato scone before?
I have. I love potato scones. I love square sausage.
Oh yeah.
And I absolutely love haggis and tatters and whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I quite like when I go to Scotland.
I hear my breakfast getting mentioned there.
Regular.
That's why the average age of us. I mean, to think I'm only 23 years old, and the average age of a Scotsman, or certainly from Glasgow, is like 42. So
is that how old you are? 23.
Oh, I wish, mate. I wish. I'm 50 next year.
I've just done this one, which is a James Eadie. And I think this is the 46% ranges. I think they do a 46%. But this is 12-year-old Manic Moor. This is Speyside. To tell you, Dave, some of the where I think they're quite interesting is they're not just doing all your famous distilleries. They'll do some of the kind of under the radar distilleries, and then I think you can buy them. They're about 50 quid, round about that 46% non-chill filtered natural colour. 12-year age statement, so I think it's pretty cool. And I think that was where are we? Wood first fill bourbon hogshead and Richard Buck. That's small batch, that one. So I don't know how many bottles there is, but that was under. I'm sure it was under 50 quid, 45 to 50 quid, somewhere in there.
Good
so
pricing.
you're getting really nice quality whiskies at 50 quid. Do you know what I mean? But these, I think these tend to be a wee bit more. I think these are kind of in the kind of 70 to 80 pound price bracket. So I think it's a wee bit challenging on the price, but I've not had a bad one. I did review one last year, which was the Aberlour 10, which I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's the blackest whiskey I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And I think I titled the whiskey black whiskey. It's still in there. So I'm gradually becoming a fan of James Eadie. But it's one of them that I seem to get hooked at the festivals. I don't seem to go looking for James Eadie bottlings. It's maybe I'll go to a festival and I'll try something and I'll go, do you know what, I quite fancy that, I'll go and pick that one up. So I think the last one again was that Southport I picked up, the 16-year-old at Southport. No, I picked up one at the Ayr Festival. And that was a 16-year-old Milton Duff. And that was about 85 quid as well. So you get a 16-year-old single cask, 85 quid. So I think they're in there. So it just works in quite well with the kind of little series I'm doing with the kind of independent bottlers. There's lots of them out there. I've just done a review, just to give you a wee spoiler. I've just done a Compass Box Orchard House. Can't you believe I've not reviewed Orchard House before? You know what I mean? I've been through bottle after bottle after bottle. And I'm thinking I've not reviewed.
A proper summer whiskey, yeah?
Cheers.
Absolutely. And it's probably,
Cider,
and I think in the video I've mentioned that it's probably the wrong time of year to review Compass Box, or that Orchard House particularly. But I know Neil's a fan of Compass Box. He's a Compass Box man.
Yeah. No, they're fantastic.
I'm sitting down the other day and I thought, I can't believe I've never reviewed this. So I've done it. So that'll come up in sometime in March, I think, that the Compass Box one will come up. So I think we've got a job to do, guys.
I've done my job.
Done it already.
You've done it. All right, okay. Glad somebody's keeping me in order, man. I'm just hoping we can leave you to the end, Neil, if you're not ready, mate.
No, I'm always ready, mate. I thought all of them were shite, mate. You know, really, not a great list.
Okay.
But, you know,
So it's just as well, guys, that he said he's not coming back next time either. So it's probably landed quite well that way.
Not invited, obviously.
You done well.
Yeah. Let me just do one quick flick through the chart, and then I'll
Well, I have got my order anyway.
We're going to go from 5 to 1. Would you like to see 6 in the next tasting, or are you happy with 5? What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm always the more the merrier, but that's more of a me problem.
What if I do your pack of 5, and then I stick a blind one in the end?
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a
very good idea. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I stick a blind one in the end.
Yeah.
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 So I'll do that. So we'll do 6 next time. So where am I reading here, man? Let's see who's Antonio D. Whisky friend, do you know the GlenAllachie Muscatel finish? I've never tried that one, to be fair. There is this. Well, if you go to GlenAllachie, there's shitloads of them, isn't there? I know I've got the PX. I've got the. What else have I got? I've got loads of them. See the one I'm looking at now. There's a Hungarian one, Hungarian oak, I think. It's a Hungarian one. PX. I'm just looking at the shelves now. They're everywhere. Yeah, but now that Muscatel, no, can I say? Should I try it? Okay, I can see some guys are just picking up some questions here. Oh, Greg's in. How you doing, Greg? Greg's one of my Patreons, man. I forgot to mention Neil's a Patreon as well, man. Very, very thankful for your support, Neil. Greg, nice to see you, Greg. Out there in the States. Not too sure which part of the States are you in, Greg. I think it's kind of Kentucky way, somewhere like that, in that neck of the woods. Please forgive me if it's not. Okay, these guys are not talking to each other. So the guys in the chat they're no bothering with us, man. They're talking about everything else except what we're talking about. So that's pretty cool. So let's have a look. Right, who's up for going first then?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Thank God, mate. Did you make a note?
We do 5 to 1.
Yeah, go from your least favourite to your favourite. That makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going first then? Who's up?
Go on, I'll do first. So, my least favourite was the Old Perth.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, I'm surprising myself. GlenAllachie is the second one.
Yeah.
Even more surprised because every Chorlton whiskey I've had, I've enjoyed, and I've enjoyed this one, but compared to the next two, so Chorlton whiskey, followed by
Yeah.
James Eadie, and then Glen Scotia. But I
Yeah.
think Glen Scotia
Well,
and the Creola is joint first, in my opinion. Both very good whiskies.
okay.
Probably Glen Scotia being number one.
I thought no, but I thought from the initial tasting that the 14 Glen Scotia, you were all gaga about that one.
Yeah, I think
There's no surprise you
this
were
one.
going to pick that as your favourite.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the James Eadie is a close second, very close second.
I'm surprised that it's came up on top of the. Are you a peat guy?
Not particularly.
No.
There you go.
I'm surprised. I thought the chocolate might have done a wee bit higher, but it's cool. Who's up next?
I'll go next. So I was similar to Dave there. The Old Perth was number 5 for me. But again, voting for your favourite child. It was a lovely whiskey. Just it came in at 5. And then the James Eadie one for me was number 4. I'm not a big peat guy, so that would make sense to me. GlenAllachie, and that's my whiskey. It came in at 3. The Glen Scotia was number 2, and the Chorlton whiskey, the Glenord, was number 1. That was mind blowing for me tonight. Absolutely amazing.
Okay, Neil, let's have it.
I'm just right. Of course, I like a spreadsheet, so I'm actually writing all these down so I can send it to you.
So Neil, well, I tell you what, then, Neil, if you're okay to do that, then pop it into the spreadsheet and pop it onto the group.
So mine's very similar to Dave's, other than a couple. So my least favourite, and they're all good whiskies, is just got a little. You know, we talk about getting bullied because it was 48%. It just can't sort of kick it with the rest. So is the GlenAllachie. So that was my number 5. My number 4 was the Old Perth. Again, very nice. Don't dislike it, but not as good as the others. My number 3.
Do you think that might be do you think that's a blended malt thing, or rather up against single malts, or the blend is taking a wee bit?
No, I just thought it. Obviously, the Glenord, we'll talk about it. It's quite a powerful sherry, even though it's 8 years old, and I like the peat. So this, and they weren't really massive peats, which I quite like as well. They were quite subtle, quite sweet. It was always going to come sort of behind those. So that was my thinking around that. My my 3rd was the Glenord. We know that one on that blind tasting we did last month. Good whiskey. Lot kicks. It sort of kicks above its weight, doesn't it? Punches above its weight, I should say. 8 years old. Actually, you would think that was a 15, 18, 20-year-old, how it tastes. But that was my 3rd. Now, it's quite close between the two, and it's interesting, really, because you normally go, the last one sort of is the most favourable, and I did quite like that James Eadie. I did like it, but I thought the Glen Scotia icons of Campbeltown, there was a lot going on. I quite liked it, and that's the one of all the whiskies I want to go and taste a bit more of it. Even though I've tasted it, I've tasted a couple of samples of it, but I've not opened a bottle of it, so I've not really explored it. That was the one I wanted to go back to. And it's the one I want to go back to compared to.
Is that going to make you open a bottle now?
Say again?
Is that going to make you open a bottle now? Is that going to make you open a bottle?
Well, I can't remember if I got 1 or 2 bottles of that, but I've got one signed by Ian when I had a bit of a debate with him in the distillery. So I'm not going to open that one. I think I'm going to keep that one. But I definitely, if I haven't got a second bottle, I will definitely open it. Open that, yeah.
Well, let me know if you've got if you've not got one. When I send the next pack, I'll send you another sample of it.
No, I'll go and buy one.
And you might
I think I want to
you might
explore
want
it.
to do it. You might want to do it against the mermaid. So
Yeah,
if you want
no,
to do it
I
against the
definitely
mermaid,
like I say,
let me know if there's one there if you want it.
I've drank 2 bottles of the mermaid. And I really like that. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
So what you've got, just run through your lot again.
So in 5th was the GlenAllachie, in 4th was the Old Perth, in 3rd was the Chorlton, in 2nd was the James Eadie, and number 1 it was the Glen Scotia. So very similar to Dave's.
So it's pretty cool that Neil's doing it on a spreadsheet. So we might actually be able to pick a winner tonight, but through this. It's quite interesting because what I've done, guys, is I've reviewed all of these. And what I've done, I've jotted down the scores that I gave them when I reviewed them. And it'll be quite interesting to see how they match up now that I've taken.
Can you remember what you scored them?
I've jotted it down, yeah. So
Perfect.
I did the GlenAllachie Madeira. GlenAllachie Madeira was 88. The Old Perth Manzanilla was 88. The Glen Scotia Dragon was 90. GlenAllachie was 91.
Ooh.
And the James Eadie was 89. So that's how I scored them when I reviewed them.
Did you feel the same today?
So today, I still feel the GlenAllachie Madeira is and Old Perth. They're the bottom 2.
So which one, Alan?
In there. So I'm going to go with the GlenAllachie at the bottom.
Yeah.
I preferred the Manzanilla. There was much more going on, I think.
Much more complex, to be fair. Yeah.
There's much more complexity going on. There was much more going on, and even from when I poured it to we sat down and tasted it, it smelled so different. So GlenAllachie, the 2 bottom ones are still the same, right? But it's quite interesting because James Eadie's still going to be the 89. That's still going to be the next one, and then I'm at crossroads between the Dragon and the GlenAllachie, right? So you'd think the GlenAllachie is right up my street. It's sherry bombed. It's my thing. It's what I'm all about, man. Is the sherry. But tonight, the Glen Scotia for me just nicked it. Nose was great, palate was great, finish. And I think I said when I was going through it at the time, it's one of them you can break it down from nose, palate, finish, and it ticked all them boxes. So yeah, I'm just going to flip the GlenAllachie into second, and the Glen Scotia is the winner for me tonight.
I think Neil got it spot on. I think the GlenAllachie on its own, over 48%, is a fantastic dram, but it got bullied by all the others. They were so bigger drams.
Yeah,
I think it got bullied.
I mean, there's a clear winner here on my lovely spreadsheet. So Glen Scotia got 3 of us voted as our favourite, and 1 of us voted as our second favourite. So it smashed it really. The GlenAllachie, which obviously some people liked, it got a first, a second, and 2/3. So, I mean, if I score them like we score them on our tasting, Alan, where the first gets 3 points, the second gets 2 points, and the third gets 1 point. All the rest get 0. I mark it up, and I can send it to you, Alan. You can send it out to the team, or you can do what you want with it. But I think the clear winner was the Glen Scotia by far, because, like I say, 3 firsts, and a second. So
yeah, that was the big surprise for me. That one, the Glen Scotia, was a big surprise for me tonight.
Yeah. Try to see if I missed anything. Yeah, no, I think in their own rights, guys. This is the great thing about tastings. Do you think if we'd have done them blind, it'd have been any different?
I wouldn't think so. No.
What they are, it would have made it any different. You think if we'd done them blind, it would have changed anything up?
No, not for me, because there's no influences there for me.
Yeah.
So I would say no.
Yeah, and I'm doing them other than knowing what they were. I'm doing every one of them tonight was new for me, so they're all kind of blind for me.
Yeah,
I knew what they were, but
that probably nails it anyway. Because if you've not tried them before, then you've got no kind of preconceptions. You've got no kind of vibes in it. I might plan one of the tastings later on in the year, guys. I might do a blind one. I might just send you the samples blind, number them up, send you them, get you to talk them through and figure out what's going on. Highland Hamish, he's popped in. Marty Whiskey knows he's popped in, guys. I don't know if you follow any American channels, but Marty Whiskey knows he's just smashed through his 3,000 subscribers, man. So he's a good lad. So if you want to dive over and have a wee look, hook him up, chat him up, whatever. He's a good lad. He's quite big on social media as well. I think he does a lot of social media. Pretty cool. And he's mates with Greg, so they're kind of. We did a live tasting on one of my live streams way back with Greg and Marty. So they're pretty cool. Highland Hamish is in. There you go, Paul. Hamish is there. You can have a chat with your kind of new buddy, your new mate.
My new best mate.
Your new best mate, yeah.
I've not got very many, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's pretty much where we are. So guys, that's pretty much it, I think. Unless you want to chat about anything else you want to chat about? We've got about I planned for about 2 hours, I think. I think we've come in just a wee bit under. I know some of you might have worked tomorrow.
Alan, I've just sent you the email with the list. You know, the order and stuff.
So I'll have a look and see if I can put it on there. See if I can put it onto the group, the WhatsApp group. I'm not that much of a technophobe, so I might have to figure out how to transfer it over. But
well, Alan, our manager has officially been sacked.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
wow.
It's official now. It's been
about half an hour ago.
You can't listen. You can't get beat with Queen's Park and knocked out the cup.
No.
And then get beat 2-0 at home with St Mirren, man. So is that St Mirren done the double on us this year?
Yeah, first time in 50 years.
I think they've done the double, innit?
Yeah.
St Mirren's done the double, I think.
And do you know, St Mirren have an amazing stat that they've sacked more managers than any other. So every time they lose, St Mirren beat a bigger team, they sack the manager, and it's happened 5 times this year, or 4 times this year, maybe.
Listen, Paul. Listen, Alan.
Listen.
West Ham beat Arsenal. That's all we care about.
Yes.
So you're a West Ham man, yeah?
Absolutely. I live around the corner to him, so yeah.
But I've got a wee soft spot for Arteta, though. A wee soft spot for him.
Yeah, I think my brother growing up, I think his English team was West Ham for some reason. Were they kind of good in the 80s, West Ham? Brooklyn and all that. When I was at Brooklyn and all them in the 80s, weren't they?
They weren't bad in 65 either when they won the World Cup, so they weren't that bad.
No, but I think he was.
Did you win the World Cup?
Of course.
No, but the West Ham team were like, he wasn't around that early, but in the 80s, I think he kind of hooked onto West Ham somehow. I don't know how he hooked onto West Ham, but that's the team that he looked for. You know, when the scores came in on a Saturday afternoon, he'd look out for West Ham.
The old TikTok.
So yeah, that's pretty much for this one, guys. Just a quick one, guys. If you're interested in the chat, you want any samples, you want any packs, I've got a link on there. Just drop me an email. If you want any info on it, anything like that. You want to do any tasting groups or tasting sessions or whatever, date with your mate, all that kind of stuff. And then maybe once a month we'll do these live on YouTube, which I think that's the second one that have been quite interesting. So you guys are becoming famous now on YouTube, aren't you? These are kind of regulars on YouTube now, aren't you? Yeah.
I'll start charging you.
Should I do you an offer where you get, if you do 5, you get 1 for free? That makes sense.
A blind one for free? Yeah, give it a blind one. Yeah.
Is that the Chinese?
But you shaking your read it. Yeah, so no, that's pretty much, guys. So that's it. Another live stream done. Big thanks to everybody who's popped in. Hamish, Gav, Marty, Petehead, Ebed, all you usual guys. I'm probably going to get butchered because I'm going to forget somebody. Welsh Torres been in. Good to see you, Welsh. Few new names. Dollar past 10. Tim, I hope you're feeling well, mate. Getting better soon. Cool runnings. Ted Brooks, thanks very much, Ted. Hope you've enjoyed it, mate. Drew, I'll get your samples off to you early in the week. I missed, who else is there? Let's have a quick scroll through. I think I've got most of them there now. Anybody I've missed, guys, apologise. If you guys want to hang on, I'll drop you guys out. I'll finish this off and I'll have a quick chat with me. I'll come back when I knock this off, yeah? Let me get... Big thanks to them, guys. Regulars now, YouTube regulars. Yeah, no, guys, I've kept it under 2 hours. I think I've got it up to an hour 57, which again, maybe a wee bit of record that I've got under 2 hours. But yeah, Emily, thanks for dropping by. Cool runnings, Antonio D. Loads and loads of guys there. Donna Pass, Greg. Tim Pools, how you doing, Tim? Nice to see you, mate. What got you? Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I've got everybody now. I don't think I've missed it. If I've missed anybody, guys, apologies. But that's it. This time next month, going on holiday for a couple of weeks. Just a quick one, guys, just to let you know, I've done a little series. I'm currently in a independent whiskey series. I'm sure Gav will be loving that. Doing lots of independent whiskies. I've rattled off about 6 videos over the last couple of days, so that'll see us through March. I've got a couple of weeks holiday in March, so you might not see me for a couple of weeks. I might just drop out a video every now and again. But other than that, guys, until the next one, so probably towards the end of March, have a good one. It's been a pleasure as always. And let me get a whiskey, man. I need a whiskey, don't I? Got a wee bit left. As I always say, the pleasure's in the sharing. Don't forget to send some great whiskey straight in the hatch. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, guys.